Let's do it.
All right, welcome back, everybody. How are we getting on?
How we doing, guys?
Good, yeah.
Thomas is super excited today because you know, we got someone from the God of War games, and he's here with us today. Robert Craighead, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're so good.
Yeah.
You're so good, bro. How are you doing, sir?
Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for having me on the show.
And it's an honor to have you on the
Pleasure.
show, to be honest.
So for those who don't know, you play the character of Brok in God of War. We're not only going to talk about God of War, but we're going to start off with that. So Thomas, take it away.
How'd you get involved in the whole thing with God of War?
Well, actually, I had done another video game for Sony PlayStation. It was Tomb Raider.
Yes.
And I did that with Camilla Luddington, and I played the main villain in that, Matthias. And Corey Barlog was the creative director at Sony PlayStation. And so whenever the God of War franchise kicked off again, and they started with this new reboot of it, he had me come in. Actually, I read for the role of Kratos originally.
Oh, wow.
And there's a little trivia for you. Of course, I'm sure everyone read for Kratos. So. But then I got a call and was offered the role of Brok, and it was such a fun character, and they kind of started tailoring it around me and my demeanor and my voice, and so we've been having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it must have been such a cool experience.
I'm very curious about your Kratos voice, by the way. I'm very curious about that.
Boy.
Oh,
No,
wow.
There we go.
This guy should have got the role.
No one does it better than
Hey, Christopher, we're calling you
Chris
out,
Judge
son.
is insane.
Oh, yeah, he was such a good Kratos. The whole
Very.
game was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, from
Oh.
the storytelling to the graphics to the cast, even it must have been such a cool experience to be part of. And
Oh yeah, well, it's a fantastic group of people in regards to the cast as well as the entire production team. So I mean, we always have fun when we're in there working on.
So when you were like doing the mocap and recording the voiceover lines, was it like, would it just be you in the booth, or would it just be like everyone in that scene kind of talking to each other back and forth?
Well, the way mocap is done is you're in what's called a volume, and so all the actors are there, and they kind of put together a semblance of a set, and they show you what the scene is going to be. There's these monitors all around inside that show you what the visualization will be for the set that you're in. And of course, if it's a sword or the axe or whatever, it's usually like a piece of a poly pipe with some duct tape on it and something else attached to the head. And so, it kind of goes back to acting 101. You're having to visualize your environment and your props, but you are working opposite the other actors, which is fantastic because I think that adds to the realism, and there's some wonderful talent and wonderful actors that you're working opposite. So then you go in and you do voiceover later on once you've done all the mocap, and like you'll be doing different lines, different whenever you go to Brok's shop, they did some shooting in mocap of me in the shop with different reactions, etc. But then you're gonna have, I don't know how many, what 100 different responses to whatever the gamer is doing, and so it's like you're doing. I mean, I usually would go in there for about 4 hours at a time, and it's just me by myself. Each actor goes in and does it. So, but I'd say for a lot of it, it's live. I'm not live, but mocap, and you're working right opposite the other actors. So,
Would you say,
Go on.
because you've been in a lot of other stuff like acting wise, but would you say you prefer? I would say you prefer acting to mocap. I mean, I'm not sure because the environment is completely different. What would you say?
well, I mean, acting is acting. I think it's really, I mean, mocap and the video game has been wonderful exposure for me, and it's a lot of fun, and I love the interaction. Like I get on Twitter a lot with a lot of the players, the fans, and interact with them as Brok. So I mean, there's pros and cons for both. Well, actually, I don't think there are any cons, but but I do love the visualization part and creating the environment while you're there, and also they work with you. It's like whenever, well, maybe I shouldn't be. Well, there's a new God of War that is in the process, and I do remember going and getting a call from them and going to have breakfast with Matt Sophos and one of the writers and creators of God of War, and he sat in line and laid out the entire sequel. It was like a 3-hour, but it was basically them telling you, him sitting there and telling me the story of what's going to happen. So it was a lot of fun. So hopefully, whenever COVID, this problem that we have going around the world, this pandemic, hopefully we'll be able to get back to work on it.
Hopefully. Lads, I need to step out for a second, but I'll be back fairly soon.
That's all right. No, that's fine.
Continue.
That's fine. Have you shot any scenes for it then yet, or have you done some scenes, or are you not allowed to say, or?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say or not, to be honest with you. I can say that it is definitely in the works.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll be honest.
Thomas does not stop talking about it. I think he's played the game. He got it. When did you get it? Like last year, Thomas?
I got it for Christmas last year, I believe.
Got it for Christmas last year, and he's played it probably like 6 times.
No, I haven't. I played it 3
times on 3 different difficulties.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, what about you? How many times have you played?
What, me?
Once.
Yeah.
Because he's a loser.
What happened was, all right, Thomas, shut up. I played up until the Lake of 9, and then I got like super confused for no reason, and then I went back maybe 2 months later, realized how easy it was, and just got through it, and then played the rest of the game that day.
Oh, okay. So you think it's an easy game, huh?
Well, no, like I wouldn't. No, God, no, it's not easy. There was like, no, actually, it didn't take me the rest of that day because there were so many parts where I'd die like 50 times, and I was just like, I think I went for normal at first, and literally just I'd die like 10 times, and I'd be like, all right, I'd turn off the game, walk away from it, come back a few hours later, try it again, and it was just a lot of that until the end. But I'd actually seen some of the like spoilers beforehand, so some of the big reveals like I'd already known, and I was just like, that was kind of a shame. But, like it was still a really fun game to play. Like I knew that.
You get on YouTube and you look at other people playing and see what is revealed to you as far as how to proceed, or
yeah, it was like, yeah, I looked that up before, and then I'd seen that the whole thing with Atreus and how like he's actually Loki, and then with Thor showing up at the end, and I was just like, oh, and those are like the 2 big reveals in the game, and I was just like, well, I know them now, but I might as well play it. It was such a wonderful game. Especially like it was so
So,
Sorry, go on.
isn't that cheating?
Oh, it is, yeah.
I mean a little bit, a little bit, but
I did the ending, and then I went on and I killed the Valkyrie Queen. So fuck you, Dara.
yeah. Thomas spent weeks trying to kill all the Valkyries, and then finally kill the Valkyrie Queen, and he did it. And I was just like, "How long did it take you to do that?" And he was just like, "Countless hours, just so many hours." And he grinded the entire game to get the best armor in the game, so he could just not be killed by anything. And I was like,
So what took us? Let's see. I think it was a little over 3 years to make that game. You knocked it out in a couple of hours. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't say a couple of hours. That's being generous. No, no, I'm messing.
It's just, there's something about games like that. You go see a film, and a film is generally like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and like then you have the longer films that are like 3 hours. But then you get a game where it's like a complete storytelling experience and stuff like that, and it just like completely knocks any movie out of the park. Like it's breathtaking. You're interacting with it. You're like there's a full story. Like how long is the campaign for God of War, Thomas?
About 19 hours, I think.
19 hours. There's a whole 19-hour story, and like there's so much more past that as well when you're looking into it. Like, and I'm so glad that before, when did God of War 3 came out? When did that come out? God of War.
I'm not sure. I didn't get involved until God of War 4.
I think that was 2007. Oh wait, no, 2007 was 2010. There we go. And to have God of War 4 come out 8 years later and just look like so amazing. It was such a switch, because obviously with God of War 3 that was set in Greece, like Sparta, stuff like that. And now to have it come into Norse mythology, I think it was just so cool, like to see something different like that. And now that we're getting more of it, it's so incredible. I definitely won't be looking at any videos before I play the next one, I'll tell you that much. I'm not getting anything spoiled for me. I'm gonna have that be a complete experience for myself.
Like I can tell you right now, if you were blown away with God of War 4 or the reboot of it, so to speak, and you're just going to be thrilled with the next one.
I'm so happy you told me that. Because every PlayStation event, any Sony thing we've watched, like I'm the whole time they're gonna.
Yeah, Thomas is like God of War. But
like it's awesome.
So
it's
the fans are incredible, man. I tell you what, there's
yeah.
so much for the game. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
I remember watching that video of the day it was released, and Corey was reacting to all the reviews about it. Man, that was so cool to watch, because that was that's his entire life. I mean, and then to see all the reactions, and man, yeah, it's awesome.
Oh yeah, Corey's a sweetheart, man. He really is, and I mean, he's got a great heart, and he put his heart and soul into it, as well as Matt and Richard and everyone else involved with the project. Just really, I mean, Christopher Judge, Danielle Basutti, Sonny, Adam, my brother, who plays Cindy. He's phenomenal and a lot of fun to work with, and everybody just puts everything they have into it.
It was very hard. I remember watching that documentary. Have you seen it, Dara? The whole God of War documentary.
I haven't, but like I've been meaning to watch it.
Some amount of work, and
you can tell how much work went into that game, like, but just by even playing it, and you don't have to look around too far to see how much detail is in that game. And it was such a phenomenon for the time. Like, obviously there had been big games, but like it was such an open game that, like, all these environments, so many different places, and everyone, like every single one of them was like distinguished from the next. And it was such a big game, like, you know, you have other games where it's like an open world, and it goes so far. But like, you know, you could explore that game for weeks and probably still not find everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm.
There's a lot of hidden stuff there, and a lot of different avenues you can take, and gameplays you can go through. And, there'll be even more of that coming up.
Awesome. Have
Cannot wait for that.
you played the game actually?
Hello.
Have you
You
played the
asking
game?
me?
Yeah.
I've got to be honest with you. No. So I rely on what people do on YouTube as well to see the game. I'm not a really, I guess video games really came after my generation, so to speak. I mean, I'm like from the Atari generation. So.
Yeah. The Atari is still a pretty good console.
Playing Pong, you know.
Yes.
So, they send me a game, and it takes me forever just to get into it, you know. So I mean, yeah, but I have a PlayStation. I have all the fancy controls and everything, and put it up on my big flat screen, and it. But no, I suck at it. So
At least you're honest about it.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Like.
Yeah, that's Jesus.
What did I miss, lads?
Oh, we were just talking about the visuals, and it was awesome.
Yeah, Thomas was just drooling over God of War again.
Yeah, he does that
a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know, but it's a game. It is a game to drool over, though. Like,
it is
so
it's beautiful,
stunning.
Yeah, I was going there. We have this like giant couch we've had for years. We've someone picking it up, but they were late. I had to try carry it around. It's super heavy. So
Rip.
That's my excuse. I apologize.
Not good enough. Should have brought the couch in here.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so
you guys in two different locations?
Sorry?
Are you in two different locations?
Oh, we're in three different locations.
Three different locations.
Three different locations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've only seen two of you. Where's the third
I don't
one?
have my camera on. That's
Yeah,
why.
Thomas doesn't have his camera on. Yeah.
Why?
Oh, I don't like it.
Camera shy.
I'm camera shy.
Very camera.
I haven't done my makeup today. You know, I'm just.
Poor Thomas.
Leave it at that. But so is this because of COVID, or is this just the way you do the show, or are you like geographic far away from me?
It started during COVID, so like this is kind of the whole layout for now, at least. But you know, we've looked at other possibilities after COVID, like trying to get kind of a room where we could have a studio, stuff like that.
What else? It also means we can have guests a lot easier. Like, what's the point in us being in the same room if you're not there with us? You know?
That's true. No, I was just curious how you guys operated. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like we're all going to college, so we all have to be in different places.
Yeah.
So
where do you go to college?
Yeah. It's just so it's adaptable.
Where do you go to college?
Oh, we don't go to college yet. We haven't started yet.
I'm the first one to move. So I've gone
How's
like
moving
2 hours
for you,
away.
Dara?
It's grand. I'm back home at the moment, but
wow!
still.
What a
Listen.
You left
First
and are starting to
weekend.
come flying back.
First weekend, I have to be back, and then next week I have to come back as well because I get my tattoo.
Oh, what a surprise!
I have to get my tattoo, man.
All right.
How is COVID?
It was okay, and then it got worse. We went from being one of the best countries in Europe for tackling it to being the third and fourth worst. So, you know, we kind of just said, okay, everyone stay inside. Everyone just be cool. Let's wait for this thing to end.
And then we were like, you can do this now.
Months later,
you
it
can
still
do
hadn't
that
ended.
now.
And then they said, okay, we need to do something with the economy. So people went out and did stuff. They still had restrictions. They closed the schools here with 25 cases, and they opened them back up with nearly 200. And then there's been cases in schools, so looking like we could be closing down again.
Yep.
Well, I have to be honest, man. I'm really surprised because I was totally expecting you guys to have these real thick Irish brogues and was going to have a really hard time understanding it. But I'm like, you guys,
It comes out when we're together and not having these conversations.
The further south you get, the stronger the accent gets.
And
really?
the further north. We're in the middle. There's nothing here.
Yeah,
you go
so
up,
we're
you
in the
got
middle.
turtle. You go down south, and you got these weird Cork lads.
How you bye? How you good
Bye. What's crack bye?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
maybe after a few pints, it starts. The brogue starts
we're
coming
not
in.
able to
100%,
speak after a
100%.
couple pints.
If it's Guinness, like
Sure.
a little logo right down there.
Literally,
Set.
no, like my girlfriend's told me anytime I'm on the phone or like around the lads or anything, I instantly become like 200% more Irish.
Yeah.
And like she finds that hilarious.
Yeah.
Where is she from?
She's from Australia.
Oh, now there's a dialect.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the Irish accent.
Oh yeah, they do.
Unless they hate it.
Mm.
Do you, sir, do you have any Irish heritage?
You know what? I traced my ancestry back, and actually, the farthest back that it can go is to a priest in Ireland, or not actually in Scotland, but he did go back and forth between Scotland and Ireland. But the Craighead name is Scottish, so I mean it's like out of Edinburgh, but I'd love to go back and see both Scotland and Ireland.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're quite similar, actually.
Ireland is like flat Scotland.
it's like flat Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Well,
the way you have like the Scottish Highlands, we don't get that.
Irish, and he goes there all the time, and he just loves it.
Yeah.
No,
Well, it's cool. Normally we ask people who get on, like, if they have any Irish heritage, and we get a variety of answers.
Like St.
From
Patrick's Day.
1/18th, yeah, from 1/18th Irish.
Thank you for saying that, actually. Thank you
having-
very much for saying that. You didn't say St. Patty's Day like some people do.
Oh, so annoying, man.
Yeah, man, we're
Oh,
going to go
no.
and drink some Guinness for St. Patty's Day.
Oh my god,
No.
fucking hate that.
Yeah, no, that's so bad. But St. Patrick's Day, St. Patty's Day, not Patty, Paddy.
Yeah.
Two D's, not T's.
Cannot
everyone is
specify
out.
that enough.
Yeah. Okay, so we went way off. So we talked about God of War, but obviously that's not all you've done. You have, I think it's 104 acting credits to your name, which is a remarkable amount.
It's incredible.
Hopefully a lot more to come.
Yes,
Yeah,
hopefully.
102 acting
Yes.
credits. What else we got in here? We got producer 3 times, writer once, music department once. Got 2 Fanks and myself.
Do what?
So that's really impressive. That's the second highest we've ever seen on the show.
I think
Okay, so you're most well known for Future Man, in which you play a detective. So could you tell us a little bit about that show and how you got into it and what you did?
Do you guys have? Do you have Hulu in Ireland?
Yes.
Sort of. Sort of.
Okay, well it's on Hulu. You're familiar with Seth Rogen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And Evan Goldberg.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And who?
Well, it's
What was the second one?
Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. They're the,
Evan Goldberg
executive-
he's Seth Rogen's like childhood friend. They did Superbad together, stuff like that.
right,
Oh yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, hilarious guys, and their writing team who did. I don't know if you've seen the movies like This Is the End, Sausage Party. Jesus, I can't even think of all of them. But they've written pretty much all of Seth Rogen's movies with them. And anyway, this is a very similar comedic vein as Future Man. And anyway, originally I went in and auditioned for the role of Detective Skarsgård, and I just like, well, Seth Rogen and my humor is very similar, and so it was just like I connected with the character so much that they didn't. This is what I was told. They didn't. They went to network. I was the only one sent to network. They said, "This is the guy. We got to go with this." So I was like very honored by that. And originally it was for like 2 episodes, but we had so much fun that they kept adding different storylines for me, and it really. I strongly recommend. Let me give you an idea of the premise. Okay, I don't know. Are you guys rated PG or R?
Yes.
Or
No, you can
X?
say anything, sir. It's.
Go ahead.
Well, the basic idea is kind of a cross between Starman, or what is that? Not Starman. The one where the kids on the video game, and they come and they use the video game to find the last starfighter to save the world, something like that. So it's kind of like that, Terminator. These people come from the future to find the guy to help them save the world, because in the future there has been a vaccine that was developed that turned people into half robot, half human. And anyway, the half robot, half humans were taking over the world. And what they find out is that what the vaccine was being developed in this laboratory was a cure for herpes. And the way that they were developing the cure for herpes was through ejaculating possums to get their semen. So there's the plot line right there. So.
That sounds incredible.
But anyway, it covers a lot of years. In my storyline, goes from 1969 to the present day, and then back to 1984. And so it's all over the place. But it was a lot of fun to be able to. I played myself whenever I was much younger. There was another actor who played me, or my character, in the first 2 episodes in like 1969, and then it jumped to the present day. And then yeah.
Awesome.
That sounds incredible.
That sounds awesome.
I definitely.
It's a very, very unique plot.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Indeed.
Funny storyline. There's 3 seasons. I'm in the first 2. Then season 3 goes out to. Actually, they filmed it in Montreal, or outside of Montreal, and so I think they really didn't take a whole lot of the other cast recurring characters with them, because it went in a whole other direction.
Yeah.
What was it like working with Seth? Is he as goofy as he seems in real life, or is he much more serious? Or
well, Seth was always involved with. I mean, he was only involved in a couple of episodes we directed, but he wasn't on set a whole lot in the first season that I was mostly involved with. But he was always at the table reads and whatnot. But it's like you always knew Seth was at the table read when you could hear. His laugh.
Oh, that was
Guy
the
is
best
one of
Seth
the most
Rogen laugh I've
unique
ever heard.
laughs ever.
He's awesome. Like,
I seen Sausage Party again for like probably the 4th time pretty recently, and every time it
I
just
remember
gets worse.
I went to see that when I was 16. I think it was an 18s at the time. Actually, no. I was 15, but it was a 16s at the time. And fucking
about getting in.
bro, talk about incriminating yourself.
No, shut up. Here's how it went, okay? So me and my friend were going, and we got my dad to go up and get the tickets, right? And then we went up after and got food. And when we were getting food, the guy goes, "What movie are you going to see, guys?" And we looked at each other, we're like, "Oh, fuck." We're like, Sausage Party.
Oh my god, you couldn't even
We were
lie.
like, no, like, because there was nothing else on. There was no, like, fucking kids' movies on at the time. And it was like, Sausage Party. They were like, "How old are you?" I was like, "Oh, 16. Like, "How old are you?" 16. It's just like, "What's your date of birth?" Oh, fuck. And then, like, I was like, the 7th of January, 2001. And then they were like, "Oh, and yours?" And then my friend was like, "Oh yeah, like the 5th of February 2000." And then like paused and was just like, And they were
What
like,
were you guys stoned or what?
yeah, like she was there, just like I was like, "Oh my god, will you just say something?" She's like, 2001. And then they were like, "Okay, cool. All right, enjoy the movie." And we're like, "Oh my god."
Man.
He was just busting me out.
It
He
was
doesn't
so-
care. It was a cartoon, man.
Could you imagine if he'd said
Yeah,
something that you're
you
bored?
can't watch that. It's hard to, it's hard to really appreciate a Seth Rogen movie or TV show without properly imbibing and some cannabis. So.
That might be his
It's
intention with
legal in
the
California.
movies.
I mean, he literally made Pineapple Express, which is one of the biggest stoner movies of all time.
Yeah, okay. That was the one I was really trying to think of a while ago.
Yeah, the one with him and James Franco.
I don't think I've seen
Yeah.
it.
It's him, James Franco, and Danny McBride, I believe.
Oh yeah, Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
he's a hilarious guy.
no, they're all like just the chemistry between those guys and like Jonah Hill. Just
Jonah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's another one. He's another one.
mhm. So good.
But
We
back
get
to
those
you.
guys in God of War,
Really?
Channeled a bit of Seth Rogen into Brok.
Oh, you can try to do his laugh. That'd be great. Like as Brok.
Seth Rogen's laugh as Brok.
Be brilliant. But how did you get into acting? Like, where did you start?
Oh my God, I was just a kid. I was something I fell into whenever I was in grade school. I just school plays, and then I just found out that people would laugh at me and think I was funny. So I'm a ham, so I just kind of fell into it and did it more and more and more. And I grew up in Texas, and so I also played football. And I remember my football coach telling me, he goes, there's not too many guys who play football who were also in the theater department. But I was an oddball in so many ways. So I mean, I played football, and I loved football, and I loved acting. I actually got a scholarship to the University of Texas to go and play football for them, and went down there and quickly realized how much bigger everyone else was, and turned over my scholarship. And they asked me, well, what are you going to do now? And I said, I'm going to Hollywood. So I've been here
What a way to do it.
I have to ask, what was it? What was it like being in Tulantula?
Well, there's more to that. Have you seen a movie called Damn Shark?
Called what?
Damn Sharks.
It's
on. Generally, they just played the hell out of it a few weeks ago on the Sci-Fi channel. Do you guys get the Sci-Fi channel there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Voracious sharks use human bodies to build dams. That's a good
this whole merman who lives out in the woods, and me and the forest ranger. We start fighting these sharks who had gotten up the river, and I mean these sharks were killing people and building dams with them, you know. And anyway, so doing that, one of the producers of that, and they were doing another movie right after that called Two Lava, Two Lantula, and they asked me if I'd do a cameo in there. So with Steve Guttenberg and Michael Winslow, the guy who makes all the funny noises, and so I'm like a helicopter pilot while they're trying to go and kill these giant tarantulas that are taking over Los Angeles. So it's another comedy. Yeah. So.
I love those type of movies though. Oh
Yeah.
my god. All those sci-fi movies about like giant like fucking alligators versus megalodons and stuff like that.
Dino Croc versus Super Gator. Shout out James E. Burns.
Wild Fury.
I love that guy.
Wild Fury.
Sharknado series is probably the one that.
Have you seen
No.
Wild Fury?
No, what's Wild Fury?
Oh, not Wild Fury.
What?
What's it called, Dara?
What? Oh, Kung Fury.
That's it. Yeah, Kung Fury.
But that's not like a sci-fi movie. So there's like a short film on YouTube called Kung Fury, and David Hasselhoff is actually in it. And it's about this cop who was with his partner, and they were chasing down this kung fu master, okay, and so they thought they took him down, and then the fucking kung fu master sliced his partner in half. But before he could react, he was struck by lightning and bitten by a cobra, and then he like woke up and he was this like kung fu death machine, and then he's like it's like really 80s based as well. It's like all this different 80s kind of nostalgia stuff, like
That's
arcade
just
machines and stuff like that, and
amazing.
it's insane. Like, and then like they have Hitler was a kung fu master and he has to go back in time, and then he goes back too far and he goes back to like the days of like the Vikings, but there's also raptors with lasers attached to them, and Thor gets him back to Nazi Germany, and they kill Hitler. It's just insane. Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
The more you can make a horror movie or a sci-fi movie, the better it is. I think all horror movies are made a little tongue in cheek. I think.
Yeah, that's true.
The better ones.
Yeah. Definitely.
We talk about that a lot. We talk about how the horror genre was kind of killed off by jump scare movies like The Conjuring and Annabelle and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And how like Nightmare on Elm Street was it was funny, and yet it was like it's considered one of the best horror films ever.
Yes.
Yeah. Hopefully it's out. Halloween. It's called Dweller, and it's a horror movie. It's a horror movie, but I have some nice comedic moments in it. But it's very much in vein with 1980s type horror movies. Yeah,
I love that.
I can't help but notice on your IMDb.
What is it? Just say it.
Is this the one I was talking to you
It's
about
the one,
earlier?
yeah.
Oh no.
The Jizz Master Part 2.
my wife
Part
keeps
2.
saying, Part
So-
2. And my character's name is Mark Dong.
Yeah, Mark Dong.
It sounds like a porno movie, right?
Oh, it does.
Yeah, please don't tell me it was.
Isn't.
No. No, what was that all about? I've not seen this. I just read it right now, and I'm wondering.
You're not going to see it. My wife keeps saying, you need to get that off of your IMDb. I don't know how to get it off there. And plus, it would be insulting because the writer and and star of the movie, Chris Gertz. He's a friend of mine, so it's kind of like he asked me to do this part. The guy, he was a casting director actually, and I'd done a few TV shows for him, and he asked me to do this movie, and it's a hilarious little film, but it's what it's about is a guy who I don't know, it was a long time ago, a guy that needs jizz sperm to live, and so he pays guys to whack off, and I don't know, it's kind of weird, but he's making
Robert,
a lot of money.
Thank you for coming on today.
Yeah.
No.
He's making a lot of money doing this, selling this stuff, and I play the tax collector who comes to because he's making so much money off of it. It's a comedy. It's real funny. But I made it so long ago. I think the title may be funnier than the actual movie. I'm not sure, but
Maybe.
it was a long time ago. I can't really remember that much about it. But no, it's not pornography. There's no nudity. It's just off the wall humor.
That is it's a unique,
very unique
name.
100% unique.
I hope the plot is more complicated than the name.
Well, I think Jizz Master 2 is much better than Jizz Master. So.
Incredible.
So you've played a lot of comedic roles and been in a lot of comedies. So would that be one of your favorite things to be in? Or do you prefer being serious when you're acting?
You know, I love both. I mean, it's a lot of fun doing comedy, but I really, I don't know. I've got a movie that I produced as well as acted in that is just now hitting the film festival circuit called Amazing Grace, about a father and daughter relationship. He's a Vietnam veteran with PTSD and alcoholism, and basically a hermit, and his daughter takes care of him. And it's a very touching story about how vets have to deal with the substance abuse and alcoholism, and not just the vets themselves, but the families, how they have to. They're dealing with it too, you know, so they're helping them overcome it. So yeah, I mean, it's I like digging deep in dramatic roles, but it's kind of like in Future Man with Skarsgård. It's like the more straight you play that character, the funnier he is, you know. So
yeah, yeah. We actually had like a psychotherapist on very recently. We talked about like substance abuse and self-medication with veterans and things that have helped. What was one she said, lads? She say, no, I could be completely wrong. Did she say like mushrooms helps? Has helped?
I was saying to her about psilocybin and how like that can they were talking about that being a treatment for PTSD in veterans, like.
Well, it's a possible.
It's a possible, and she said that she could see that, like that she would think that there would be some benefits to it.
Like we also talked about CBD was one as well. It relieved a lot of anxiety.
Oh man, I'm a big advocate for CBD, man.
You are.
I tell you. Oh yeah, I love CBD because it's like a cure-all. I don't know why. It's like a miracle drug. I had like an oral surgery that was extremely. It was you know what implants are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I had implants done, and I was in excruciating pain, and I did not want to take like your normal opioids. You know,
which can do a lot of harm.
Yeah, and so I didn't want to take those, but I had been to this awards gifting suite for the Emmys or the Academy Awards, and one of these companies, the CBD companies, had given me a bunch of samples, you know, these, and so I just took a few drops, and put it in my mouth. I mean, because I was in so much pain, I was willing to try anything. It was gone. The pain was gone within minutes. And I'm like, I just used it every day until the pain dissipated, you know. But yeah, no, I'm a big, and now I use it. I'll get salve if I've like got sore muscles. I'll rub it on or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's a miracle drug.
Yeah, we've had people on talking about it and their use with it. I know from having the research, researching the topic with having a psychotherapist on, I had to see what it was good for. You just brought up it was good for your for your mouth after you got your thing done. It's really good for oral health. Actually, as a matter of fact, when you said that, it can stop receding gums and it can prevent gum disease. It just overall it's good for your dental health.
Yeah. There's some doses.
Anxiety and pain and so on.
Yeah.
Stuff we all know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah.
I didn't think we'd talk about that, to be honest.
No.
But thank you for being like very open about that. So some people wouldn't be as open to talk about something like that because there is a big stigma about it.
There is.
Well,
maybe in Ireland. I don't. Well, see, I live in Los Angeles, so we're pretty open about everything.
yeah, you guys are open about everything. Not so much here.
Yeah, it's legal here. Everything's legal here. So, I mean, my mother, rest her soul, she passed away in January. But last year, she was having some really severe back pain, and so I got her some cream, some lotion to rub on her back, and she said it helped tremendously with her back pain, and she called it her marijuana. So it was, but it's CBD lotion.
Yeah. No, it's. I'm sorry to hear that. Number one, but if there was that stigma behind it, it could do a lot more for people. I know people who've had to, who've seen relatives in a lot of pain, and they've had to pretend it was something else, or put it in a different container. And then even if they say it afterwards that it was CBD, the non-psychoactive chemical in marijuana, the relative will probably still not be happy about it or not take it at all.
Yeah, right. Just because of the stigma, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's some out there like the stuff I use for under my tongue for my tooth pain. I mean, it had a significant amount of THC as well as CBD. I think it was 50-50. So, yeah. I mean, you can get it without any THC in it, but
yeah, in Ireland it's only legal.
It's only what is it? Is it below 0.2%?
0.2, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Really?
Well, make sure you're high.
I've got about a gallon here, but hey.
I actually know people who've done that. They own. Actually, I won't say that. It's too obvious. They.
Oh, come on, Big Jared, man, it's your family. Come on, no, I'm messing.
No, I know someone in town who eats their own stash. Like they sell it, and then they got a bunch of gummies in, and they about half the entire shipment.
Oh God!
And they realized there was a bit of THC left in it.
Oh God!
But that was a funny story.
Well, whenever you edit it like that, kind of loses something in the translation, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, Robert, I want to thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Robert, for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
You've been awesome, and we got to have you on
about
again.
A fair few things so far. So
when God of War 2 comes out, man, we're having you on again as soon as I'm done the game. So I can just compliment you.
As soon as I'm done the game.
Get COVID over with so that we can get back to work. Everything's really starting to pick up. I got another show plug for you guys though, real quick. Are you familiar with Tyler Perry?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Tyler. I've done a couple of TV series for him. He's got a new one out that it's on BET Plus, and I'm on that series called Ruthless, and it's about a cult who sets up in outside of this little small town in Virginia, and I play the local sheriff who works with the FBI to infiltrate this cult, and it's a cult of sexual and religious deviants. They kidnap little girls and women and children, but it's a pretty awesome show. I strongly suggest you check it out. It's on BET Plus from Tyler Perry called Ruthless.
So if you're watching this
find
podcast,
on BET. If you want to find more of Robert Craighead's acting. So yeah, it's been an honor to have you on today. Looking forward to when you're going to be here talking about the next God of War title. Fingers crossed. Actually, before you go, how long have you been out of work as an actor with COVID?
I was working on a project whenever they shut everything down, which was in March. So I haven't worked since March. So
That's rough.
Yeah.
Like absolutely nothing. Like, have you done Zoom stuff?
Oh, well, I've done a couple of table reads, like 4 table reads for new movies. One of which I did with Robert De Niro and
That's cool. That's interesting.
Chloe Moretz, a guy I went to acting school with, Nick Cassavetes, is directing it, and Nick asked me to do the table read. Miles Teller, if you're familiar with his work, Whiplash, etc. Actually, he's in the new Top Gun.
He is, yeah. He's Goose's son, isn't he? Yeah.
And so, I've done several table reads like that through Zoom, where people have asked me to help facilitate that and do a reading, play a part in their movies. It's been pretty dry. Now, they're just now starting to kick up here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, that's great to hear.
They're barely, barely scraping along here.
Yeah.
In February, I was, I got a role as a feature extra, and I thought it was just gone. But then, I think 3-4 days ago, I got confirmed again that I'll be getting to do it. So I'm excited for that.
Wow. Yeah.
Things are barely scraping along here.
Yeah, I've been keeping myself busy. It's like I was in post-production on this movie I was just telling you about, Amazing Grace. It just started out on the festival circuit. It's actually, you can catch it at the Burbank International Film Festival next weekend online if you want to check it out. It's called Amazing Grace. And then at the Glendale International Film Festival. But I was in post-production doing all of that online with, we had a composer in London that we worked with, Laura Rossi, and, all of our post-production people, everything was done online and doing Zoom meetings like this. So did a lot of that. I did, worked up some stuff on my, put together a new sizzle reel for you guys. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but it's out there. It's pretty funny if you haven't seen it. You can see it on my IMDb.
Yeah.
Have a look. Right. Well, Robert, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
I'll be honest, I thought you were going to be a lot more serious, but you've been a really funny guy. And, you've just gone with everything. It's been great.
Loved having you on.
Yeah, it was an experience. Thank you so much.
Sweet Nana's nethers.
I can already tell Thomas is smiling from ear to ear.
Thomas is dying.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Thanks for watching.
It's been a pleasure.
Bye.
See you later, man.